Guys, today we're going to cover rules of exponents, which is going to be the beginning of chapter 2. What we're going to be doing today is going to be a review. So some of the things I have already filled in, and if you will take just a second and write those down. A monomial is a number, a variable, or a product of a number and one or more variables. Some examples: 34xy, negative 7a squared b, 6, 0, and y. If you have something like 5 to the second power, that is called a power. 2 is the exponent and the 5 is the base. So product of powers is our first rule of exponents. If multiplying two numbers with the same base, then you add the exponents. So the same base is your key here. If you don't have the same base, you can't do this, but if you do, you add the exponents. So this would be 5 to the 2 plus 6, which is 5 to the 8. Y to the 4 plus 3 plus 1 is y to the 8th. This is 42 y to the 5 plus 1, which is 42 y to the 6th. And add the exponents of like terms, so negative 15x to the 3rd, y to the 13th. Again, this is all review, so I'm going to go through this kind of quickly. If dividing two numbers with the same base, you subtract the exponent. So y to the 6th minus 1 is y to the 5th. 6 to the 13 minus 2 is 6 to the 11th. And then here you're going to divide. So they both have a common factor of 5, so that would be 2/3. And then anytime you have the exact same exponent, that would be to the 0 power, which is 1, so those just cancel each other out. 7 minus 5 is 2. Again, at any time, always pause your video to get what you need. Any non-zero number with an exponent of 0 is equal to 1, and let's look and see what that is. 8 squared is 8 times 8. 8 squared is 8 times 8. The 8's cancel. The 8's cancel. 1 times 1 is 1. Another way to look at this is you're dividing. 8 to the 2 minus 2 is 8 to the 0, which is 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So this is 8 times 1 plus 5, which is 13. X to the 0 is 1. You will hear me say this a lot for negative exponents. Move it opposite and change the sign. For any non-zero number, a raised to a negative exponent, place the power opposite and change the sign of the exponent to positive. This is why that works. So b to the 2 minus 5 is b to the negative 3. Move it opposite, change the sign. Why does that work? You have two b's on top and you have 5 on the bottom. And they cancel each other out, and you get 1 over b to the 3rd. So 2 to the negative 3 power is 1 over 2 to the 3rd power, which is 1 over 8. Notice when you move it opposite, the exponent becomes positive. So this is negative 1 over 3 to the 3rd. Move it opposite, change the sign of the exponent. Negative 3 times is negative 1 over 27. Negative 1 over 27. When you raise to a power, you multiply the exponents. Raise to a power involves parentheses. Multiply the exponents. So x to the 2 times 8 is x to the 16th. Negative 3 times negative 4 is y to the 12th. Power of a product means you have more than one term in parentheses that you are multiplying. So everything in the parentheses gets the exponent. The one thing that always gets left out is that coefficient. So make sure it gets the exponent as well. So this is 4 cubed times x cubed cubed times y cubed times z cubed is 64 x to the 9th, y to the 3rd, z to the 3rd. I'm going to evaluate this negative exponent first. 1 over 7xy to the negative 2 squared. That's 1 over 49 x squared y to the negative 4, which is y to the 4th over 49x squared. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So you can go ahead and mark that off. So this is 6 to the negative 2, x to the 12th, y to the 14th, which is x to the 12th, y to the 14th over 36. Power of a quotient for any numbers a and b where b is not equal to 0. If the quotient of a and b is raised to a power, raise both the numerator and denominator to the given power. Another way to look at that, everything in the parentheses gets the power. So this is 3 squared over 5 squared, which is 9 over 25. This is 2 squared times a to the 5th squared over b to the 7th squared. 4a to the 10th over b to the 14th. 3 to the 3rd, a to the negative 12th over b to the 21st is 27 over a to the 12th, b to the 21st. A to the 12th, b to the 30th over c to the 66th. In this case, you didn't have to move anything because when you multiplied your exponents, everything became positive. This kind of summarizes what we just talked about. If you would like to pause your video and get your notes, and then we will come right back and do our examples. The product rule, you're multiplying, so add the exponents. X to the a times x to the b is x to the a plus b. Power rule, multiply the exponents. X to the a to the b is x to the ab. Quotient rule, subtract exponents. X to the a divided by x to the b is x to the a minus b. Negative exponent rule, move it opposite and change the sign. X to the negative a is 1 over x to the a. Zero exponent rule, anything to the 0 power is 1. So x to the 0 power is 1. Adding and subtracting monomials, you just combine like terms. So 9 minus 10 is negative 1 x squared y. Subtract 6w from 8w, so 8w minus 6w is 2w. So that's just combining like terms. We didn't really talk about that. That's just something that you guys should already know and be pretty good at. All right, multiplying, add the exponents. H to the 8th, negative 14, a to the 5th, b squared. Feel free to pause your video, try these, and see how well you do. Raise to a power, multiply the exponents. X to the 6th. Negative 2 squared is 4m to the 10th times m to the 3rd, which is 4m to the 13th. Sometimes you're going to have more than one rule in there. You need to make sure that you're real clear on exactly what to do when. Reduce 27 and 42 by 3, and then x to the 5th over x is x to the 4th on top. So 9x to the 4th over 14. And y to the 4th over y to the 4th is y to the 0, which is 1. Negative 5x to the negative 2 is negative 5 over x squared. And if it's written like this, we know that we have a 1 on top and we have a 2 on the bottom, 1/2 or 4/8. If there are no negative exponents, you can just subtract and leave it where the largest is. So we have a 2 on top and a 5 on the bottom. 5 is largest, so subtract from the bottom and leave on the bottom. 7 times 1 is 7, and W8, W to the 8 is W to the 0, which is 1. As always, if you have questions, let me know, and I hope you guys have a great day.